is pretty much self-explanatory. Still, I'm going to read that out. From crisis to stability, democracy is the foundation of economic growth. So I would like to welcome all the guests and our guest speakers today will be Mr. Rashid Al-Titumir, Dhaka University professor at the Dhaka University. We have Mashrur Riaz, Chairman, Policy Exchange. And we have Muhammad Hassan Khan Babu, President BGMEA, and possibly Mr. Hanif, Editor Boniparta. I really apologize if I got anyone's name incorrectly or the title, because it's difficult for me to read the handwriting. Lastly, I would like to thank representatives from the Australian High Commission, Embassy of Japan, Iran, China, Palestine, Germany, Switzerland, and British High Commission to have answered to our invitation today and participating in this roundtable seminar where we hope to learn from each other a lot more. At this point, I would like to introduce the team that was basically formed by our acting chairman a few months back, and he gave us some special objectives, is to engage with different stakeholders, different foreign nationals living in Bangladesh, potential investors and current investors in the country. Because as you know, we are transitioning through a difficult period of time headed towards democracy. So from our team, we have the senior most member, Barrister Nasiruddin Oshim. He is also the International Affairs Secretary of BNP Central Committee. We have Barrister Kaiser Kamal. He is a Law Affairs Secretary of BNP Central Committee. We have Barrister Mir Helaluddin. He's an organizing secretary from Chittagong Division. We have Mahdi Amin. He's obviously, as you all might know, he's advisor to our acting chairman, Mr. Tariq Rahman. We have Mr. Tabit Awal, member of Executive Committee BNP, plus he has a lot of other titles. He's currently the president of Bangladesh Football Federation and so on. And then you have me, Engineer Ishraq Hussain. I'm a special assistant to the chairperson's Foreign Affairs Advisory Committee. Then we have Advocate Farzana Sharmin Putul, special assistant to the chairperson's Foreign Affairs Advisory Committee. And we have Israfil Khosru, special assistant to the chairperson's Foreign Affairs Advisory Committee. At this point, I would like to invite Mr. Mahdi Amin to come give his keynote speech. Thank you.
Good morning, friends from the international community. Thanks for your attendance today. We appreciate your presence. If you see last year, during this time, July, we had a mass uprising where we saw a united Bangladesh in one side and the stakeholders of the authoritarian regime in another side. People from all classes, professions, ideologies, political or non-political stakeholders all came together to build a Bangladesh where we'll rise from the destruction of democracy and form a democratic government, and we get rid of an authoritarian regime who were clinging to power, whose power stemmed not from the people, but from the state apparatus, police, law enforcement agencies, judiciary, bureaucracy, and election commission. All of those were totally politicized. So the aspiration of July was to build a Bangladesh where the country will be run by true representatives, a government that truly works for the people, and where we see public mandate in policies, in politics, where we see accountability, where there will be transparency to ensure fairness, equality, justice, and good governance. BNP understands this and values it as the largest political party, that if we want to take the country forward, we have to reform how the country had been run. We have to reform how the politics was conducted. We have to reform how the policies were formulated. If we see the history of Bangladesh, multi-party democracy, export of manpower and garment industries, all these were taken, all these are brought forward in BNP governments. The very fundamental essence of caretaker government, how the country should be formulated through youth empowerment for different ministries for the youth, and for women's empowerment through different ministries for the women and children. All these were done in previous BNP governments under President Ziaur Rahman and Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia. With that legacy of reforms, in 2016, our chairperson, Begum Khaleda Zia, announced Vision 2030, that almost a decade ago, totally and wholeheartedly embraced the reform policies. In 2023, our acting chairman, Mr. Tariq Rahman, announced 31-point charter based on a common consensus of all pro-democracy stakeholders. We take a pride that most of the discussions that surround reform policies, whether it's bicameral legislature, whether it's term of the Prime Minister, the checks and balances, the power distribution between the Prime Minister, President, the executive judiciary, all these were detailed, chalked out in our 31-point reform plan. The 6 fundamental reform commissions, which combined together to form the consensus commission, were actually proposed in our 31-point. We all want to build a country where we'll thrive with a rules-based society, where there will be checks and balances, the judiciary will be truly independent, and we'll be working together to restore human rights, to protect the rule of law, to ensure freedom of expression for all, and to give free press. If we see the policies of Tariq Rahman, our acting chairman, over the last 1 year, he has repeatedly called for a country which will thrive with tolerance and cohesion. We rise or fall as one nation where the interest of the country will be the first priority. We want to build pro-democracy policies. And that's why he said employment of our youth should be the main priority. He has repeatedly emphasized on a technical and vocational education system where we will be upskilling and capacity enhancement for our youth. He has announced of introduction of multiple language, the globally valued languages, which will convert our youth to the global citizens. The employment-oriented education and training system will make sure that our youth are prepared for their empowerment, for their employment, and for their entrepreneurship. The family card that we have discussed is part of women's empowerment process, where every individual, whether it's housewife or a professional, the lady, the mother of the family, will receive state-sponsored, the state benefit, 5 main products in their household. The state will deliver it to them every month. And that benefit will come in the form of rice, lentil, sugar, salt, and 5 main ingredients. We have discussed about farmer's card for all farmers, where we will categorize them based on small, medium, and big, and give them targeted incentives and loan facilities. So every farmer in the country will come to a database, and the state will provide them targeted policies for their empowerment and economic opportunities. We have policies for cottage, micro, small and medium enterprises. How are we going to give them collateral-free loans? How are we going to give them the ecosystem where we provide them the logistical support? The product, the people, we need to bridge them. We need to ensure the market process is streamlined. We give them more training and the market access they need to have, not domestically, but also for international market with the infrastructural support and IT system. We have a policy to enhance the foreign direct investment in the country. So we have to reduce the number of touch points, get rid of the red tape as much as possible through good governance, and the dividend repatriation must be much more easier. We have policies to modernize the bankruptcy laws, policies for merger, acquisition, liquidation, new policies to modernize and upgrade the intellectual property rights, and asset protection for physical and virtual assets. The banking system that has been dismantled over 15 years must be fixed with aggressive policies. We need to upgrade the debt recovery system and reform the audit and tax policies that can serve the true interest of our people. Our vision is to lead the country through export-oriented growth. We have to diversify the product in garment industry. We have to explore the new markets, and our vision is to have an additional sphere of new zoning in various industries that includes agro-processing, light engineering, footwear, ICT. And for that, we have to streamline our economic zones and industry clusters with targeted benefits, policies, and taxes. We have a plan to have product-wise zoning and develop the ecosystem across districts and divisions where we value the inherent strengths of products that they have long been producing. Towards that direction, we will be streamlining the raw materials, workforce, infrastructure, and logistics in the grassroots level. The Bangladesh that we now foresee is the one where we will be thriving with deregulation, economic liberalization, and public-private partnership. The spirit of this new Bangladesh will be one where we'll be ensuring the empowerment of the people from every background. And towards the journey, we believe a free, fair, and credible elections, which will lead to an accountable and transparent